What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Got breaking news from the NBA. Sad and bad news for the Los Angeles Lakers as former All-Star point guard Rajon Rondo broke his thumb in practice, or fractured his thumb in practice, same thing. And he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. The former All-Star point guard averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists off the bench through 48 games. And him and LeBron James were the only two ball handlers and guys that can run the offense on their roster. And now that he's out, they basically don't have a backup point guard to LeBron James. You know, a lot of times Rajon would come in and play alongside LeBron James. And even though he's not a shooter, and you want shooters on the court with LeBron, he was able to function well with LeBron because he's had a high basketball IQ along with LeBron James, so he was able to make it work anyway. But he was basically their primary, backup point guard, and they would run the offense through Rajon when he was in the game and LeBron was on the bench. But now they don't have a backup point guard, so this is a real significant loss for the Los Angeles Lakers, coupled with the fact that Avery Bradley, the guard out of the University of Texas, decided not to join the team in Orlando due to the fact that his 6-year-old son suffered respiratory illness. And Avery didn't want to get infected and come home not knowing that he's infected and possibly infect his son. So that played a key decision in him not showing up with the Lakers and playing with them in Orlando. So this is a tough loss and a significant blow to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers are the betting favorite in Caesar's Palace. Caesar's betting odds. They are the favorites to win the title. But in my opinion, this drops the Lakers to the third best team in the West to come out. The third favorite in the Western Conference to come out, let alone the favorite to win the whole thing. I now put the Los Angeles Clippers and the Houston Rockets ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people might not agree with that, but I just think those three teams are very close anyway, and I just think this loss of Rajon Rondo, along with the loss of Avery Bradley, just really weakens their bench. Man, they basically don't have no bench now. They're going to have to put Caldwell Pope, who played well off the bench, they're going to have to probably put him in the starting lineup, and that's going to weaken their bench, along with the fact that Rondo is out. And again, Avery Bradley, who was a starter in the backcourt along with LeBron James, decided not to rejoin the team due to his family issues. So this is a bad and sad situation for the Los Angeles Lakers. The one good thing I can say that they still got going for them is they're the number one team in the West seeding-wise. They're the number one seed. They got a 5.5 game lead over the Los Angeles Clippers with 8 games to play. So they'll finish the regular season and start the playoffs as the number one seed. Say the Rockets, who are the 6th seed right now, they have, they can jump to the 3rd seed, which is very probable because I think they're like a game and a half outside of the 3rd seed as the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th seed. Teams are bunched together so they can basically have a good, strong chance to get that 3rd seed. If they get the 3rd seed, well, the Lakers won't have to go through both of those teams. One of those teams will get knocked off in the second round of the Western Conference, and the Lakers will only have to beat one of those teams to get to the finals. But whoever comes out of that 2nd and 3rd seed second round matchup between the Clippers and the Rockets potentially, I would favor them to beat the Los Angeles Lakers due to the fact that LeBron and Anthony Davis and Kuzma, it's gonna be all on them. They don't have no bench no more. They have no bench. They're gonna have to play some players off the bench, just to get a start a breather. But they can't expect to get any of the productions they got throughout the regular season from that bench. The guy they're gonna rely on, Jared Dudley, he's a veteran, but he's basically been on ice, for the regular season. He's contributed very little to the team. He's just a veteran guy in the locker room and a guy that as a good locker room guy and a veteran presence that can show the young guys the way and life of the NBA. But as far as contribution on the court, it's been very little from Jared Dudley. But they're going to have to, they got to get the mothballs off of him and get him on out there. He's going to have to hit some threes and bring some production off the bench. And then you got a couple other guys. You got the guard out of Texas A&M, I think he's number 4 on-ball defender. I saw the stats when Avery Bradley was announced that he wasn't going to come back with the Lakers, and they had the point guard out of Texas A&M. He was number 4, so he's a good on-ball defender. They'll be relying on him to get some production, and he played well early in the season. But it seemed like after the All-Star break, his production, in my opinion, kind of went down a little bit. He didn't have the same impact on games that he had early in the season, but he's going to have to find the impact he played earlier. He's like a court hero in L.A., but he's going to have to be more productive than he was toward the end of the season before it got interrupted by the coronavirus. He's going to be much more productive than he was in the second half of the season. You got to get back to what he was doing in the first half of that season. We'll see what happens with that. But they got him, and they got Jared Dudley. They got J.R. Smith. I'm talking about J.R. Ryder. I'm getting the J.R.'s mixed up. You remember J.R. Ryder out of Minnesota? Explosive player. Out of college, out of UNLV, big-time player, man. Didn't reach his potential, man, but he had some success in the NBA, man, but he came out as a potential all-star, Hall of Fame type of player, and he never lived up to that. But J.R. Smith is coming off the bench, and they're going to have to rely on him now. He's going to step up. He's going to have to step up and come off that bench and hit some threes, which he's capable of. He can go 5 for 8. Off the bench, and he can come back the next game and go 0 for 8 off the bench. He is the ultimate streak shooter, J.R. Smith. They're gonna need him to be the streaking in a good way off that bench if they want to get to where they want the goal of that they set out start of the season. That's the NBA championship. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. But again, former All-Star point guard Rajon Rondo sidelined 6 to 8 weeks. This is going to keep the point guard out until the Western Conference Finals, and that's assuming the Lakers get that far. That'll be the earliest time the team can expect him back. And even when he does come back, and if he does come back, he's going to be coming back rusty, and he's going to be going against an opponent that's in rhythm and playing at a high level because they got that far to the Western Conference Final, and this team is going to be able to run them. So it's going to be interesting to see if any kind of impact that he does have when he does come back in the Western Conference Final. Again, he's going to be coming back of inactivity, 6 to 8 weeks of inactivity, and everybody else is going to be in a rhythm and going to be playing at a high level. So I think his impact is going to be minimal then, man. This season is probably going to be a wash, man. If you just really look at the big thing, this thing's going to be a wash. Maybe he gets in some kind of rhythm, gets in some games during the Western Conference Final, and the Lakers get to the NBA Finals, and then Rajon Rondo with those games, knocking off the rust in the Western Conference Final, maybe he can have an impact and help the team out in the NBA Finals. But for the team to think he's going to come back in the Western Conference Final cold in the heat of the playoffs and make an impact is wishful thinking, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see what transpires. The Lakers are now going to have to step up, man, and the three big-time players, the number 1 option, LeBron James, the number 2 option, Anthony Davis, and the number 3 option, Kyle Kuzma, in my opinion, going to have to average somewhere around 90 points in the playoffs. And then you get you a little bit of production from your bench and your other players, starting players, and your starting 5, the other 2 players in the starting 5. You might be able to offset the losses that you now have taken on with Avery Bradley out and now Rajon Rondo out. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. I forgot about old Dwight Howard. That's another guy off the bench. So they got some people off the bench, man. We're just relying on guys that just so inconsistent, guys that just really ain't played and really haven't had any kind of impact this year. And Jared Dudley, J.R. Smith been out the league, what, 1.5 years, 2 years? He's been out the league. You're relying on guys like that to step up. Then you're relying on the court hero, the boy out of Texas A&M, a guy that, like I said, played well in the first half of the season, but in the second half of the season didn't have the same impact. He's going to have to step up. Maybe this time off will get him to work on his game and work on his game during this time. I don't know how much time they was able to play, but maybe he can find his time. I don't know. Maybe those are the games. Maybe piled up on playing the minutes that he played, even though he's playing off the bench. And playing at that level, maybe he might have hit a mental wall or whatever, but his mind should be refreshed, and they need him to step up again like he played in the first half of the season. And if they can get that out of him, along with what Dwight Howard did, who's been consistent and been productive off the bench the whole season, they might be able to offset the loss of Avery Bradley And let me get this off. That's my phone getting low. They might be able to offset the loss of Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo. They might be able to do that if they get those particular players to step up and have an impact on the team. Let me know what you think about the loss of Rajon Rondo. You think it's going to hurt the Lakers' chances of winning the NBA championships, or you think the loss is negligible and won't affect them at all? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.